Want to take this time, give a shout out to the brother Rio Robinson. If you aren't aware or heard the news, he's a new Commanders content contributor to the app. Download the Bleacher Report. Follow Rio Robinson on the Bleacher Report. Link will be in the description. He will be recapping this Commanders Ravens via live stream on the Bleacher Report app. Congratulations again, my brother. Welcome back to Burgundy Drip Gold Trim. And if you're here for the first time, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Definitely make sure after you subscribe, you hit the notification bell. Now let's get right into this video. Welcome back, you guys. Tonight, in a couple hours, our Washington Commanders are heading up to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore to face the Baltimore Ravens. Now, things I would like to see in the course of this game, of course, is preseason. We already know that the starters are not playing. This is probably a dress rehearsal game because I don't think any of our starters that are locked in, number 1, 2 on the depth chart, are even going to play game 3 of the preseason. So you might as well consider this a dress rehearsal. And game 3 is pretty much guys who fighting for the last roster spots, in evaluation. So what I really look for tonight, I don't expect EB to come out and show his whole hand, come with a full deck of cards, but I would like to see some improvements from the quick pass game, the offensive line, and just see probably a little bit of here and there some trick plays and some plays downfield, because Sam is probably going to play, depending on how he plays in the first series. I'm just going to give about 2 series, and if they don't play well in the first series, I think EB and Ron are going to try to push Sam out there for a 3rd series. Now, we had we had joint practices twice with the Ravens prior to this, so we have a feel for what we're going against, and they have a feel for what they're going against with us. And we got to see some of the young studs. I would really like to see Quan Martin really step up this game. Really like to see him out there for a number of plays, a good number of plays, to see what he can do when, like the second and even the third team is out there. Maybe try to put him in some first team, but I already know how things go. But I just want to see a lot of Quan Martin and Emmanuel Forbes out there. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. Some Andre Jones, and, especially the guys on our offensive line. I want to see those young guys and how they do. Andrew Wiley, please do not have a hold and hug-a-thon, man. We don't need you to be a care bear. We don't need you holding and hugging, pushing us back. In that Browns game, we were moving the ball. The ball was moving. Like, don't continue to stagnate us and hurt us when we're moving. When things is going, you gotta keep things moving. Keep the ball rolling. Get Ricky Stromberg in there and Braden Daniels, especially since they saying Sadiq Charles is hurt. So I really want to see those guys. And I know we have a lot of depth on the defensive line, and I know Big Phil is out again. For Darian Mathis is out. We already know how we missed him practically for the whole season last year. But the little bit of time we did get to see him play, it did look like he could do some things. It did look like he was going to be a factor, a bigger factor. But hey, he didn't play. And thanks to Dallas for putting Ridgeway on waivers, and thanks to the waiver, while we were able to get a John Ridgeway, he was to come in there and he was able to stuff holes and do good things for our defensive line. The depth is always important. I feel like every position on the field should have a layer, the depth should be layers of depth, dexterity. We need all of that. We need all of that moving forward. Like, I like our running back room. I like the quarterback room. Because if things go wrong, you have a contingency plan. A lot of these teams don't have contingency plans. San Francisco, they had layers. They had so many layers to their QB room until they got to the NFC Championship game. And we see, they had to call in Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson should be playing tonight in this game with the Ravens, because I'm not sure if Lamar Jackson or Tyler Huntley is even playing. I'm not going. I don't see any injury reports. So I would more likely assume Huntley and is going to play. I don't know. Maybe Josh Jackson and another rookie they got. Let's see how that goes. But they have picked up some studs in the offseason. They drafted Zay Flowers. They got Odell Beckham, of course. And we see how Emmanuel Forbes came to those joint practices and he showed some tenacity. He showed that he had some. He showed he had some flair in his game. And he showed that he was ready to elevate his game against star players, against big receivers. I know Odell hasn't played in like a year or so, but hey, it's Odell Beckham. He still has dexterity in his game. He still knows how to run routes. He may not be as explosive as he once was, or maybe we'll see this season. Who knows? The Ravens, they draft exceptionally well on both sides of the ball. And this is a team I don't really think that they have like any superstar players, but they're like really good players like a J.K. Dobbins out of Ohio State, a Trenton Simpson out of Clemson. They got Zay Flowers, which I mentioned earlier. And he looked like he can do some things in a passing. They may have a quick pass game. That may be what Lamar Jackson even needs to get going for the season, to have a season similar to what we just seen Jalen Hurts have. He got the weapons in place now. He has the defense. He has a well-oiled machine behind him. And this is a good test. The practice was a good test. So even with the backups, I'm pretty sure that the Ravens, as well as they run their organization, they're able to have maybe some depth and complexion on their end as well. So again, iron sharpens iron. And that's what we did the joint practices for. Like I love to be challenged. Me personally. That's why I love them bringing EB in here to challenge this offense. I like to keep the defense on their heels and keep them guessing. And we have these weapons here in place. We have the coach that focuses and emphasizes on detail. And it'll be very important to get the quick passing game going, to get the run game going. Let's scheme up some things. Let's use a lot of the tight end work. Let's use a lot of the backs, in the flat. I really want to see how these rookie guards and these tackles, they really work on like these screen plays. They work on these swing plays. Like, how is it going to look moving forward? Because I know we don't have a line similar to what the Eagles have, but we definitely have the talent revolving around it. So I know EB can figure out something. Kansas City did not have the most talented line either, but they did have Mahomes at the center, who always figured it out on the fly and on the go. Not saying that Sam cannot process. He's still in the learning stages, but we're seeing the growth every day. And we're seeing it weekly. I would like to have it week by week. I appreciate that the fan base is behind him and we believe in him, because he does have the tools to succeed. He does. He doesn't seem rattled, and I don't want him to become rattled. When he's staggering on his feet, when he's running for his life. It should be like simple plays where we can create something. We create a pocket or something where he can just set his feet and just process. And then there goes the big play opportunity, from the plays that we drew up prior. We don't want to put too much and stack too much on them. And far as the second team, we already know what Jacoby Brissett can do. So I'm expecting him to probably play a few series. And then we're just going to see Jake Fromm the rest of the game. And then you have your Mitchell Tinsleys, your Byron Pringles, and Kemp, EB guys that he brought in. And your Derek Gores, just to see what they can do, just to have them on the field, to see how they play, coming in and match and play with these players that are already here with the Commanders. Byron Pringle made a hell of a catch from Jacoby Brissett in that Browns opening. Now, we don't want to build up bigger, get too big-headed and get too ahead of ourselves with this game planning. And I'm pretty sure like EB is going to put that in their head as well. And Ron is just going to sit back and let EB do his thing with the offense, and he focus on the rest of the team, because we really had that potential. And I really think we can end the Ravens streak tonight. And I'm not going to wrap y'all up too much more. You know what to do. Get into that comment section. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Please like, because I really need to get into that YouTube algorithm. I would really appreciate you guys help build this foundation. I appreciate you all dearly. Anyone who's still tuned in, Have a nice, blessed day. Commanders, Ravens tonight. Hey, who you got? Hail to the Commanders.